interesting, maybe even more interesting than the etymology of quips and phrases, is this BVZ, this grand finals. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Babylon, we have the Blue Pro Toss for Dragon Kitesy, herO. And his opponent in the upper left-hand corner, in the red, it's Dark. A good old KSL finals here. I mean, would it be a KSL finals without it being Dark versus herO? We're on number 16, and this is the 5th time this has been a finals. It's kind of insane. herO, I think, has now 8 finals appearances. He's won 5. He's lost 3. This is 9. This is his 9th appearance in the finals. Dark, in the meantime, this is his 7th appearance in the finals. Dark has only won 1 of those, though. So he's trying to not just take down herO, who's been the bane of his existence in this tournament, beating him 4 out of 4 times, but also just trying to get another win. Edge himself up a little bit here. These guys are, by a long way, the points leaders in the KSL standings for the SummerSlam. I think it's definitely guaranteed herO is going to be invited. It's almost guaranteed he's going to be the first seed in the SummerSlam. Dark, I think, is guaranteed. Technically, I don't think there's any way for Dark not to be in the top 8 of points by the time KSL SummerSlam comes around. These guys have it on lock. They'll be at the big tournament. Well, they'll be invited. Hopefully they show up. What is this wall? Man, if Dark has any... I don't know, man. I feel like if you're a Zerg and you see this wall, the Bane Nest goes down, right? Doesn't it? Doesn't a Bane Nest go down like right now? You just drop that, you like put it out here so the Adept probably won't see it. No, Dark not gonna do it. He's not going for the Bane bust. All right, well, it looks like things are going to normalize here for a little bit, which means I can go back to talking about word etymology. So the interesting thing, Flair, you'd mentioned that at some point somebody decided to just point at a rock. They called it a rock. That's not quite how it worked, right? It was initially called something else. What I find interesting about words is that it probably started out as something very, very simple to say, really easy to say. Rock. I feel like that's not like the easiest word in the world to say. If you don't know how to say words, babies don't say rock by accident, you know? I just find it interesting how words change over time. They change meanings, slight pronunciation differences. And then phrases come and go that, like, some of them just make no sense. Like, some of the things we say really make no sense. And that's been true for a long time in most languages, but I think English might be the worst offender for that. I say a lot of them while casting. There's a lot of like random crap I say while I'm casting that just doesn't make any sense. Well, these oracles are going to dive in though. herO, excellent oracle control as we expect from him. Gets 4 kills. Ling's poking the other side, but gets shoved away. +1 on the way for herO. There's the blink. All right, we're getting the good old herO build here. The oracles get 3 more kills. All right, already 7 kills for these bad boys. Is Latin a dead language? It's an interesting question because, I mean, a lot of the words that a lot of languages use are based on Latin. Did Latin die, or did it just evolve? Is it like the Zerg? Did Latin pull an Abathur?
Must evolve. Blah.
It's like turned into a bunch of different languages. Latin is like the larva, you know? It just turned into a bunch of different stuff. There was like a bunch of larvae. Now there's no larva. But the presence is still felt. A very, very good philosophical question we've got here. In the meantime, Dark going into Mutas, putting that Spire down. We did see him do this against Classic earlier on. It ended up a very weird game. See if herO handles it any differently. He's got a lot of Stalkers warping in. He's going to start putting pressure on with those +1 blink Stalkers. Ooh, that's not just pressure. This is a lot going on here. Dark needs to get as many units out as he can to hold on to this. He doesn't have a big surround. Ooh, really big stasis trap there, considering how many Lings are out. Good snipes on top of the Ravagers here. These rocks have taken a little bit of damage. herO going to continue pushing forward as he warps in more Stalkers at this proxy gateway. His fourth base seems to be pretty much dead. Trying to run away. They get caught in another stasis trap. Imagine being one of these Lings. You're like, all right, I'm out. Run away. Caught again. Stalker's going to try to push forward even further, but there's a lot of Roaches and Ravagers here for Dark. I think herO might have overextended a little bit. Maybe wasn't expecting Dark to have quite so many army units out. Oracle's going to go spot that there is no fourth base. He killed the only one. And herO's got to be pretty happy about that, but man, he does have to be careful. There's so many Roaches and Ravagers. He's just got to poke and prod and pull away. Kills a few more drones. Dark's economy not looking great, but 6 Mutas are on the way, and I don't think herO ever spotted that Spire. So he has no idea these Mutas are coming out. And it's not a ton. Dark is not heavy committing on them like we saw him do earlier. He doesn't have the economy for that. But there's no static defense at all, and these Mutas might be able to pull herO back and pull the pressure off of Dark. That is the hope anyways. It looks like these Lings are going to get caught by the Stalkers that are putting on some pressure of their own. This fourth base may just not happen. But the Roaches and Ravagers are here. Oh, these Mutas need to be careful though. Stalkers are blinking back right where the Mutas are. I don't think herO knows about this at all. He does have one cannon in this mineral line. That's the only one for now. Drops the Temple Archives. He's going to keep on pushing. Wants to force a cancel on this base. Oh, and he is going to force the cancel. Dark just before it finishes. But now herO has to recall. He's got to try to defend these Mutas. The Mutas are already getting really nice damage. This is really, really good for Dark. This is allowing Dark to get into some Hydras, actually, which is kind of an interesting choice. I guess that's to help against the Oracles, maybe more than anything else. But again, it just pulls the pressure off of Dark, allows him to get this base up. If he had been able to do that before this base got canceled, Dark would be sitting pretty right now. As it is, this is not great. This is not great for Dark. Why are there carriers on the way? What? herO just hard swapping carriers. Maybe Dark knew this was coming. Maybe this is why the Hydra switch? I mean, obviously he's scouted it now. No Corruptors though. He's going for the Hydras. The Hydras will help him against the Stalkers, whereas the Corruptors would not. I think Dark's just going to try to max on this Roach Ravager Hydra and go for it. But I feel like by the time that happens, herO might just have too much. He's got these stasis wards up on the high ground. Those are beautiful. Shield batteries and cannons to help support the carriers. He is down quite a bit of supply though. It's all in the army. But if Dark's going to go, he's got to go now. He's got pathogen glands on the way. Hydra upgrades finishing up. I feel like these carriers coming out, herO's just going to be way too far ahead in terms of the tech if Dark doesn't try to push out soon. Dark doesn't seem to mind. And this is one of the things about Dark. It feels like he's in a bad position, right? The economy has been so back and forth. It's not usually good for the Zerg, but if he's able to get his spellcasters out, get into a bit more of a solid army, it starts to feel like he can take fights and win fights that other Zergs just can't. And he's got that pathogen glands finishing up, so we could see some infestors coming out. Vipers are already out, a couple more on the way. Lurker Den is on the way. Dark is feeling like he can take a fight here. He doesn't feel the need to put that pressure on and throw away a bunch of units. herO's going to be the one pushing out, but this is actually kind of scary for herO. This is a Dark that's just chilling right now, and Dark actually sacrificed a bunch of drones to get these spore crawlers out. He's up to 9 of them. That's going to help immensely against the carriers. But this is so important. Dark needs to be in position to deal with this army, and he's so far out of position now. He's going to bust down these rocks. He's only sending half of his army up. This feels so scary. This feels so scary. Oof. Stasis Trap going to help out quite a bit, but a lot of these Stalkers going down. herO needs to blink out of there. The tags on the army have been crucial, keeping an eye on everything. But Dark did evacuate this half of his army. And now herO trying to take advantage of this. Ooh, some nice yoinks here. He's going to get all those carriers. A few of them still exist, but he gets a couple of them. Transfuse is trying to hold on to this base, trying to buy time, but it will go down, and those Stalkers will run away. The Roach is going to run right into the Stasis Trap. The Broodling's actually helping out there a little bit as the recall goes down and herO gets out of there. Dark is still maxed, though. herO is the one that's actually down in supply right now. He jumps on top of this army. There's no Lurkers here to punish. The Lurkers have not been morphed yet, but Dark's trying to go for a counterattack. And he's just going to waltz right into this base. Super Shield Battery turns on, but the battery gets targeted down. There is one carrier here and some Stalkers. That'll buy enough time for the rest of Dark's army to get here, and it feels like Dark might have made a mistake sending so many units into this base. They're all going to die. herO is losing his 5th base, though, and this army's going to dive into the 4th. I feel like there's a little bit too much here for Dark to actually take a good fight, so he's going to back up. 25 Hydras in production. Dark immediately morphing a few of them into these Lurkers as they pop. 9 Lurkers now on the way, but herO trying to take advantage of it, jumping on some of these Hydras as they're morphing into Lurkers, forcing the cancel. Parasitic Bomb goes down on the Oracles. Do we have any yoinks? There's one of them trying to target down these carriers. If the carriers go down, that's so much of the DPS of herO's army. 2 of them die. Lurkers are out now. Is there detection here for the Protoss? No, there's not. He has to back up away from these Lurkers until he gets some detection out. Dark holds on. Both players' supply dropping down to rock bottom here. 136 and 126 respectively. That is wild. Storm now on the way for herO, as are Disruptors. Neither player has that great of an economy, but Dark's, I think, is a little bit better because this base is nice and fresh, whereas herO's running low on minerals in his main and his natural. Even his 3rd actually starting to mine out a little bit. herO, I think, kind of desperately needs a 5th. He also wants to try to stop Dark from having a 5th. I can't believe Dark is still in this game after that early game. I feel like this all went so well for herO, then he got into those carriers. But Dark is just, feels like he's just so comfortable against carriers. So comfortable against this late game from herO that he just slowed the game right down. The moment he thought, okay, I can't go kill him, let's slow it down. Pathogen Glands, Vipers, we're getting into Lurkers. And now, I don't really know what. herO has, I think, correctly deduced that he doesn't have the economy to support more carriers. Carriers are very expensive and keep costing you money. Without a 5th base up and running, you just really can't go heavy carrier. So he's beefing up that ground army before that 5th base is finished up. And maybe he'll get into a couple more carriers, but he's so high in supply now that it feels like maybe not even worry about it. I'd love to see him counterattack with them. Like, send the carriers up north and just have them harass a mineral line or something. Ooh, disruptors going out. Couple disruptors get a couple of lurkers there. Really nice opening disruptor shots for herO. Great tag as well on a lot of this army, keeping an eye on what's going on. As herO pulls back to the cannons and shield batteries. The safety. Some of these units were not tagged, though. They are going to run and try to put some pressure onto this base. The Zealot run-by gets found and completely killed here. Oh, man, this is looking really, really nice for Dark now. herO losing another carrier. The Roaches and Hydras find this 5th base, and they find the defenses lacking. Super Shield Battery turns on, but that gets targeted down. The Zealots will warp in, and that'll buy time for herO to get over here with a few more units. But that means Dark might be able to push forward with some of these units, and he's pushing that creep up as well. Trying to jump on top of this. Yoinks one disruptor. Well, not as much damage as I think Dark was hoping for. He does kill 16 probes down at this base, though. Trades a lot of Roaches and Hydras for it, but look at Dark's bank. He is feeling okay about that. Big beefy storms on top of this army. Those queens don't take a lot of damage from it, but Infestors going down here is actually really dangerous for Dark, who doesn't have a lot of anti-air right now, and Tempests are out. I love the choice to go into Tempests right now. There are 13 Corruptors on the way, though, so those Tempests are going to be the last Tempest, and I think herO knows that. He just built the 2 to push this away. herO's economy is kind of in the dumps right now. This base is not mining basically at all. He's trying to put some pressure on the Dark, though. Dark does not have a huge economy. He's going to be able to take down this Lurker, take down the static defense. Corruptors coming out and dying immediately. The Stalker's trying to get underneath them, but there's actually too many of them. The Vipers going down, though, is huge. Where is the rest of Dark's army? There's the Lurkers trying to dive in on top of this. Disruptor Nova's going down, getting some big connections, though. And this time, herO does have detection, at least for a little while. A lot of the Corruptors going down as they dive on top of this. One of the Tempest stays alive. Carrier's on the way again now, as herO feels like he just took a really nice fight. There's no drones mining here anymore. And herO suddenly flips the switch with this attack. Dark fumbling the response, not hitting with everything all at once, losing his army just completely separate from each other. I think herO can kill this and then maybe go for a recall. Zealot counterattack gets pushed back. I'd love to see herO just recall. There he goes. He recalls back to the correct base. He'll be here in time to defend. Dark not going to be able to push into it, and suddenly Dark in such a rough spot. That being said, herO's economy, not great. I would love to see him send some probes down here. He's got enough where I feel like he can Maynard some over, and there they go. They're heading there now. Fully saturated base nearly. And herO's economy is suddenly back to being decent, and I think it's pretty even actually with Dark's once he gets those probes mining. herO's economy, or herO's army rather, is bigger and it's very strong now. These Archons underneath are going to add a lot of beef to the army. The Disruptors are still huge. We saw all the Vipers go down earlier, and none of them have been rebuilt. Dark maybe doesn't feel like he has the gas for it. He's going to go for the counterattack plan where he just hits on all sides here. Tries to pull herO out of position, pull the army back. Looks like these Lurkers will get cleaned up. It might take a couple minutes. 12 probes going down, though. herO's going to need to rebuild those probes. Looks like he's trying to take this base to the upper right. Dark consistently just trying to catch herO out of position. herO not letting it happen, though. He's got these disruptors here. He's done, so far, a pretty solid job at defending this base while those other attacks happen. Disruptor's going to help out quite a bit, but they will not kill Lurkers in one hit. So there's still 4 Lurkers here to cause problems, but as those Lurkers get tagged, Stalkers will blink forward and take them down. The Observer shows up. Yeah, but Dark forces a cancel on the top side base with the Lings and Hydras, the more mobile force. 21 probes have now gone down. God, that is so many Archons. The Archons don't have detection, though, so the Lurkers just burrow right next to them. Now the probes have to be evacuated. I talked about herO doing a good job defending both locations, and as I said it, Dark proved me wrong. And Dark is now finding big damage, forcing the cancel on the 6th, killing the 5th outright, killing a ton of probes. herO's economy is now back way into the dumps. Dark taking a huge lead as he still has this space up. His 5th base is almost back up and running. He pulls back, still putting a little bit of pressure on here, but trying not to lose too much as he's beefing up that army. And herO down to 150 supply. He's got a strong army. If he can get this army fully maxed, it might be something Dark has some trouble with, because Dark is obviously up a lot of economy right now. Dark's trying not to let that happen, though. He sees him push on a creep. Says, all right, I'm going to counterattack. Oh, he's going full counterattack. He says, you're going to either base trade or you're going to try to recall home and get back here. Microbial Shroud helping these Hydras out. The recall goes back to this base. Huge storm on the Hydras. Oh, those Hydras are big dead. A few units do go into the natural. Not really getting too much done. 11 drones and a base went down on Dark's side of the map. Man, this is crazy. I feel like whoever the attacking player is actually taking the advantage, and Dark can't do it. herO takes game number 1. Dark was ahead for so much of that game, but both times herO attacked. He moved across the map with that air army. It felt like Dark had enough set up to fight it, but he just didn't take good fights. In that one, he fully went for the base trade, and it just failed miserably. He lost so much stuff. Big storms. His army was so split. And I think the big part of that was he lost his spellcasters. Those crucial spellcasters, which are Dark's bread and butter, went down. The Vipers went down. I think the Infestors, there was a couple of Infestors at the end trying to Microbial Shroud and help the Hydras out. But it just wasn't enough. Scrappy game that herO ends up taking. And man, are we seeing another herO victory in the KSL over Dark? I don't know. I'd like to see Dark take it, but there is something special about herO winning so many KSLs. He has 5 victories under his belt, and he's looking for a 6th. What is it with tournaments, weekly tournaments that I run, and Protoss is just dominating them? I guess the nice thing is, in this case, it's pretty much just this guy here. As we hop into game number 2, spawning in the lower left-hand corner, it is the red Protoss for Dragon Kitesy Gaming, herO. His opponent in the upper right-hand corner, looking for his 2nd win and his first victory over herO. It's his own teammate, Dark. It's funny, there was a couple weeks where, I think it was 2 weeks in a row, the finals of KSL was herO versus Dark, and the finals of ESL Asia, when it used to be on, well, Saturday nights for me, was also herO versus Dark. And over the course of those 2 weeks, there was 4 finals between them, and they had the exact same record against each other. herO 1-2 and Dark 1-2. It was wild how dead even they felt. I do still think this is a very even match between these two, but I feel like herO has maybe gotten the upper hand overall. Dark's certainly off to a bit of a rough start here, but that game was so insane. I don't think Dark is feeling particularly bad about too much in that game. It was, I think, a good start for herO. I feel like herO had a solid start, but there's so much back and forth. And then Dark slowed the game down. He took the game to a little bit of a later position, and usually for a Zerg, that's not a good idea, being down economically, but having like solid tech doesn't usually happen for Zerg, but for Dark, it ended up working great. He put himself into a lead. He got a lead, and then herO took the lead back. Dark took the lead back, and herO then won the game. I really, it's just insane. So good. Oh no, we're losing so many frames. Oh, that is so painful. I don't know why that's happening. Sorry guys. at this point, I kind of just have to hope that it like resettles itself. There's not too much I can do. It just seems to be having a bit of a struggle bus right now. You know, it happens from time to time. I don't know why so many frames are dropping. It was very painful. I hate when this happens. Seems to have settled a little bit. Nope, as soon as I said that, I jinxed it. The moment I said that. I'm not having any issues in game. It's straight up just my upload to through OBS. I don't know what's going on. Oh my god, and now Twitch chat is quoting the prequels. What is happening in my chat? This is what happens when I'm not here. What happens when I drop frames. Change the settings real quick and see if that can help us. A lower quality stream, but maybe it'll be a consistent low quality stream instead of whatever the hell's going on right now. Meantime, I'm going to follow somebody else's observing real quick here. No, we're still dropping 1 billion frames for absolutely no reason. Come on, internet. I believe in you. This is wild. Haven't had this happen in a bit. Well, at least the YouTube cast is still good, because the recording should not be affected by this at all, except that I haven't been talking about the game for a couple minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about the game and hope the internet settles itself. The Oracles dive in and get 5 kills. herO stretching for that last one. Queen will push these guys away from the main base. It is going to be blink once. No! Oh, as I said it, as it went down. Canceled, and herO starts up charge. Okay. Decides to change it up a little bit. Going for charge, going for the Archons. I think we might see a big push here from herO. I say might because I feel like I've said that before in this situation, and then he just proves me completely wrong by macroing off the back of it. But that might be dependent on what Dark decides to do. Dark just chilling for right now. Drops a macro hatch. He's got +1 melee on the way. He's playing it pretty much how he always does. Is there a Bane Nest? No Bane Nest. That could be a problem against a lot of charge lots. I think Dark's going to keep an eye out for the Stalkers, but yeah, there's the Roach Horn going down. Roach is going to be crucial, but I mean, Archons are morphing already. Charge and +1 are pretty close. If herO goes for a push, and he's got a bunch of gates finishing right now, he absolutely could do some big damage to Dark. It looks like we've settled the upload a little bit. Sorry if the quality is kind of crappy out to Twitch. I'll try to up it slowly but surely and see if the internet will stay stable at a higher bit rate for you guys. Hopefully, again, this doesn't affect the recording. At least YouTube will have a good cast. Or whatever passes for a good cast on this channel. Bane Nest is on the way now as Dark is realizing, hey, those are charge lots and Archons. I might need some Banes to help out with this. And some Roaches. 10 Roaches on the way. There's +2 melee. I think Dark's very well set up for any sort of push. herO correctly identifying this, I would say. Ooh, trying to get the Oracles out of there. One of them gets taken down. Spots a lot of Roaches coming out. I really don't think herO should go for a push. I feel like the 4th base is the right call. Does this pylon block the Nexus? It might. Okay, he's not putting a Nexus over there. I think it does. This pylon may very well block the Nexus, and that might be why herO decided to expand to the other side. I'm not really sure. Dark might clean up that pylon for him. There you go. Thanks, Dark. Just in case that was blocking. You don't have to worry about it. Oracle checking the 4th base out. There's no drones here, but Dark is sending some this way. The worker count pretty much dead even right now. It's going to be very good for herO, but I feel like that means Dark's going to push soon. Dark has 38 more lings on the way out. Got 170 supply. Bane speed is almost done. I feel like we might see Dark go for a little bit of pressure, a little bit of back and forth here. +1 ship weapon's already on the way for herO, so he's thinking about that Fleet Beacon 2nd Stargate action, even though we're not quite getting to it yet. Disruptor's coming out right now. Disruptor's going to be very helpful against the roaches. Might be able to get a good shot at the lings and banes. I wouldn't be surprised to see Dark try to get in with some little counterattacks here. Oh, there's 3 stasis traps. One of them was triggered. The other ones... that one does get triggered as well. Nicely done by Dark. There's still one in the back here that could be big, but unlikely. Bane's morphing. They're going to try to dive in. herO's ready for this, though. He is prepared for the inevitability of these Baneling run-bys. There's that stasis trap coming in clutch once again. Baneling's trying to run through, trying to take down the static defense, maybe get to the probe line. They're doing one of those things, but the probes are so far safe. 4 probes going down. Baneling smashing into shield batteries and cannons, depowering and killing just about all of this. Disruptor Nova's coming out a little bit late as the Lings and Banes hit from both sides. Is there just too much here for Dark? I don't know. These Disruptor Novas have hit pretty damn well. Dark losing a lot in this attack. A few probes have gone down, but the Oracle's helping out tremendously. But the ground army's pretty much gone. Zealots come in, they get blasted by the Banelings. The Ling reinforcements show up in time, and this 4th base, I think, is just straight up dead. The probes added are dead as well, just trying to buy time for herO to hold on to anything. But Dark is now up 50 supply, and it looks like Dark might be able to take this one. herO losing so much of his army. He's got carriers on the way, but these carriers might just be too late. Dark pulls back. He's got 74 drones. He's got 4 bases. Ooh, looks like this prism gets pushed away. No drones going down. Dark doesn't realize there's carriers coming out, but I'll tell you, 2 carriers, not really that big of a deal. And by the time herO gets to that 6 carrier count or so that he's going to need to, Dark might just be able to kill everything. There is not much ground army to speak of for herO right now. That is a real problem. This prism is spotting just how much ground army there is for Dark to speak of. I think if Dark just goes, 3rd base is probably dead, and I think herO will not be long in this game once that happens. Oof, Zealot's getting recalled. Stasis Trap's helping out, but Dark's going for it anyways. Baneling smashing into the base to the static defense. Disruptor Nova's getting some big hits on the left side, though. Banelings, probes. Oof, the probes get away. 8 probes do go down, but the base stays up. You know what? I thought Dark was just going to smash through with that army, but he doesn't. herO able to hold on. Dark still heavily ahead in the supply, both in army and economy. And now getting down that spire, the crucial spire. Well, that might have been a bit of a mistake for Dark. We're losing frames again. That must mean Dark is losing right now. I don't know. I don't know if that's how that works. I can't believe so many frames are being dropped. It's actually so painful right now. Spire nearly finished here. Dark definitely going to need that out. He's still at a much better economy. Take a look at the income graph here. Whew. Yeah, herO really struggling. Trying to get another 4th base up. But, I mean, it's about 1/3 of the way done. That's a bit of a yikes for herO. herO's in a tough spot. He has 6 carriers out, but with 16 corruptors and +1 flyer attacks on the way, Dark is moments away from having enough to just squanch this army. A word I love to use that has pretty much no meaning, but I feel like you guys all understand what I mean when I say that I think Dark is he's prepared to take this one. He's going for it, diving forward with the Lings, sending the Banes in to tank some of the Zealots. Decides to pull back. Banelings not really doing much over here. Is Dark gonna go for it? He seems a little bit timid right now. He's trying to wait until herO pushes forward a little bit more. The Disruptor Novas are very scary. Those ones whiff. I think there's one more available. Out it goes, but the Disruptor dies before that thing goes off. Archon's trying to get under the Corruptors, but the Corruptors just maneuver around. And yeah, Dark just has way too much here. The ground army dies. The carriers are sure to follow. They might do okay in this fight, but there's just nothing to stop Dark from flooding through, and it looks like we're going to have a tied up series as Dark takes game number 2. Knocking herO down. Just like all of my frames are getting knocked down right now. That is so incredibly frustrating. I'm so sorry, everybody. And as I realize now that the way I've been posting videos to YouTube has been exporting them from Twitch, it means this will affect the recording unless I send it separately. Oh, I gotta grab some water. We are in the lobby for game 3. We're going to Dragon Scales. Hopefully the bitrate issue settles itself. Really, really frustrating. We're loading into the game right now. Yeah, I lowered the bitrate once again. I raised it up to see if that helped. But it looks like the internet can't handle the, I don't even want to say high bitrate again. Just like medium bitrate. So keep it nice and low. Might get some compression watching the stream, but at least it won't just be dropping frames all the damn time. Sorry again about that, guys. I hate when that happens. There's really nothing I can do about it. I just gotta drop the bitrate and hope that it settles itself down. But anyways, let's get into game 3 here. We're going to Dragon Scales. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner of the map is our Protoss player, herO. Taking a solid game 1, but his opponent closing the gap. In the lower right, it's Dark. Able to take that game 2. Probe a little late to the party as Dark takes a 14 hatch. That means Dark really doesn't want herO to block this hatchery. Very interesting that Dark tried so hard on this map to make sure he took his natural. Makes me wonder if he's got something planned, or if he just doesn't want herO to be able to take advantage of the fact that the creep spread coming around either side here make it very difficult to defend some of those early attacks, particularly like glaive to depth attacks. Can be really brutal if you don't get that creep spread connecting those bases immediately. herO just going to go ahead and take his own base back at home. While the probe continues to harass. It's trying to get this drone. It's trying. herO very likely going to go for another Stargate opener. Seems very confident in the long game play, despite that last game. It's been very, very close between these two, man. Both of those games were kind of insanely close. I feel like it just shows how good these guys are. It's always a fun finals, too. Never sad to see a dark herO finals. Oh, man. herO's like, nope, not going to let you take it. Drone shown his hand. Now I'm going to have to go take the other base. Delaying the third base of the Zerg. First Oracle on the way for herO. It is interesting how quickly herO has been trying to transition into those carriers. I feel like that hasn't always been the case. He hasn't always just wanted to transition super quickly to carrier. Obviously, it can be very, very strong, but I feel like we've seen Dark do a pretty decent job against him. Very different response in game 2, though. You see when he's up in economy, he wants to get that Spire out. He wants to get those Corruptors out there. A much stronger response to the carriers than the Hydras are, but in game 1, the Hydras ended up doing pretty all right. Ooh, speaking of all right here, herO getting 6 kills. He does lose a couple of Adepts, but 6 drone kills is very nice. The Oracle sneaks away. herO drops his third base back at home as the second Oracle joins up with the first. I love this little like back and forth where herO doesn't want to turn the Oracles on and Dark doesn't really want to lose these Lings. So the Lings stick around until the Oracles look like they're going to turn on and then they run away. But the Oracles really don't want to turn on because they want to save their energy for stuff like this, where they can just pop in, grab a few drones, and pop out. I love that Dark purposefully target fired this Oracle with the Spore Crawler because it was the lower health Oracle. However, that means the other Oracle gets away, and both of them get out of there. 6 more drones going down. But what is happening here? Oh my god, these Queens walked all the way across the map. I was looking at Oracles, and meanwhile, Dark is forcing a cancel. He immediately turns the Queens around. That is wild. He turned these Queens around before they even got there. And that's awful for herO, man. Forced to cancel that third base. Queens are still here to push these Oracles around. And there's so many Lings out on the map. I think the Oracles kind of have to stay at home right now. Blink and +1 are on the way, but Dark really taking advantage of the fact that herO did not have a lot defending that third base. Forces the cancel on it. And despite, I think, overall a good early game from herO, I think Dark's in a great spot. He's just droning up his third base now. herO is so far ahead economically in terms of workers. But herO keeping him back on 2 bases, morphing Banelings to try to bust through here. The Oracle's got to hold on back at home. They have to. I don't know. Was that worth it for Dark? He is down so many workers. He's been droning this whole time. herO is still up in workers. I think losing 15 is a big part of that too, though. This feels like it would be a much better strategy if Dark hadn't lost 15 drones this game. And herO feeling confident that Dark's economy is bad. He's just going to take this third base. He's got the Blink Stalkers now to protect it. The nearly Blink Stalkers now. He's going to get a few more drone kills. It looks like this Oracle might go down. In fact, both Oracles in a little bit of trouble here. And both Oracles will bite the dust. The Oracles ran out of juice and then they bit the dust. Here we go, some turns of phrase that make absolutely no sense. Why would you bite dust? I don't know, but the oracles did it. Dark Shrine goes down for herO. What a beautiful building to see in creation. Stalker's trying to force the cancel. They get the kill, and the stasis trap keeps them safe on the retreat. Wow. That's actually kind of huge. Dark not getting the cancel on that is very painful. Ooh. Look at that blink micro from herO. Damn. Beautiful stuff. herO putting on a bit of a show right now for us. Dark drops the infestation pit. You know he loves to do that. Pretty much any time of the game, he's like, oh, I can put down an infestation pit. Let's do it. Ling's getting the surround on the Stalkers. Ooh, a bunch more Lings show up as the Stalkers decide to fight. Oracle turns on to help out from the sky. Stalker's starting to go down, though. Just trying to trade as well as they can with the Lings. They are trading excellently with these Lings. My God. I thought those Stalkers were all dead. 6 of them get out of there, and I mean, they're going to keep on poking here. There's so many Queens, though, and more Lings have showed up, but more Stalkers show up. There's a stasis trap back there as well, and suddenly Dark is in some trouble, maybe trying to tech too hard as he's getting into that hive behind this, but now an Immortal just walks up. Queens do have transfuse energy. They'll be able to hold on for a bit longer, but so many Lings forced to be made, and herO in the meantime, it looks like he wants to take a 4th base. I think Dark might try to set up for a counterattack, but he just desperately needs to hold on right now. Stasis trap is huge. That is the most beautiful force field I have ever seen. And Dark, he's got to pull back. 4th base not going down quite yet for herO, but as I say that, he goes to drop it. He's gonna move over here, clear some of this creep, kill a couple of overlords, and again, just force Dark to build more and more units. Dark's still on 68 drones. He wants to drone up one of these bases, but he just hasn't been allowed to. herO finally gonna pull back and try to defend this 4th base. But now he's got Archons on the way. He's building DTs. What are these DTs for? Are they straight up just for Archons? It makes me kind of sad that he's not using these DTs for anything else. It looks like Archons it is. No blink DTs here. But now that hive that Dark made, maybe starting to pay off. He's got Adrenal on the way. He could start to get out, I don't know, hive stuff. There it is, the Ultra Cavern. I'll be honest, that is not what I expected Dark to do. When I was thinking about hive tech Dark could go for, somehow Adrenal was not on the list of things I expected. We do have more drones going down here as these oracles just sack themselves. One of them does get away for 7 more kills. Dark down to 63 workers there for a second. That is brutal. Ling's trying to do a nice little counterattack here, but the Immortal at the perfect time. A stasis trap, and the Lings get shoved away. Dark's counterattack not working out. The door is now closed with a DT. These Lings are going to be like, all right, let's go. Wait a second. Wait a second. Oh, with the Banelings, they can auto-explode. Great force fields on the ramp, though, to hold on here. Super shield battery trying desperately to hold on while these units warp in. herO on the other side of the map, killing drones, killing a base, but his natural is in some trouble as the Lings break through. It looks like there's enough in the main and enough warping in to hold on, though. A few probes go down. I think herO gets the better end of that. Dark wants to make that not the case as he is running forward with these soon-to-be Adrenal Lings. No detection, though, and the DT warp-in is huge. And that buys time for the rest of the army to show up. These Banes trying to waddle away. There's no Bane speed. I guess if the Stalkers blink into the Banelings, then it kind of works out for Dark, but not really what Dark was looking for. herO up 20 supply now. Dark down to 4 bases against 4 from the Protoss. This time he doesn't have that high tech he was looking for. He was trying to get into Ultras, but I don't think he has any out on the field. There's none on the way. He's just going to try to flood in with Lings. The Ling surround is huge. Oh my God, these Adrenal Lings are doing so well. I don't think it's enough for Dark, though. He needed some extra DPS behind that, some Hydras or something, and GG. herO takes game number 3 and goes up to match point in this grand finals. Wow. What a game, man. These guys are so cool. So insane. Oh, I hope we get a game 5. All right. Took us a second to get here, but we are finally loading into game number 4. Game number 4. I can count. We're going to Ancient Cistern. Fun green map. And it is currently match point for our red Protoss. In the upper right-hand corner, looking to win his 6th KSL and his 5th victory over this opponent. It is herO. But in the lower left-hand corner, gonna fight it out. Hopefully get us to a game 5. It's the Blue Zerg. Dark. Gotta drink water after each of these games. So much water. There's just so much to talk about in every single game. Once they get going, it's just non-stop action, man. It's always interesting specifically when Dark tries to get aggressive, because he changes it up every game. He's so like consistently inconsistent that I think it becomes very difficult for the Protoss. But herO is so practiced. It feels like he handles a lot of that aggression better than just about anybody else. And Dark just looking for those timings that'll surprise herO, that'll take him down. Last game was certainly a surprise for herO. But, I mean, I think herO just got so much damage done that Dark's economy was in the trash. Forced to cancel on a third base in a crucial moment. Caught herO completely off guard. And still, I mean, by the time that third base got back up for herO, they were pretty much dead even. And they were kind of even the whole rest of the game. It ended up working out very nicely for herO, who recognized that it was a heavy drone follow-up for Dark and just got aggressive and stayed aggressive. Be aggressive. It is crazy to me, though, how now 4 games in a row, herO opening up the exact same way. No Twilight Council first. Nothing cheeky. Nothing wild. I mean, I know this is a weekly. We're not getting the primo strategies here. They're not prepping all week for this one. But, I don't know. herO seems that usually, classically, herO would be the kind of person I would expect to throw in some change-ups to his opponent. But maybe just feeling so confident in this solid standard play and the slight variations he can do with it against Dark that Doesn't feel he needs to do anything super crazy. And so far, it's been working out pretty well for him. First Oracle staying at home this time instead of heading across the map to try to get some damage. Just trying to hold on to that third base for a little while. Dark does like to do that thing where he just builds a bunch of lings and tries to force a cancel. Here's the forge. I imagine we'll see the Twilight Council shortly thereafter, and herO just gonna head on into Blink and +1 again. We did see at least the interesting like charge Archon build out of herO. So he's not just Blink Stalker in every game. He changes it up a little bit. Nice pull here from Dark. herO just trying to waste as much time as is humanly possible. And you know what? He catches 4 drones. Forces a lot of lost mining time. These oracles need to get the hell out of here, though. This one oracle might go down. Not quite. Oop. But a third oracle shows up. How does Dark have, or herO have 3 different oracles doing 3 different things all at once? While he's macroing behind it, he's got Blink at +1 on the way. It's insane. How do you do that? I don't know, but he gets a few kills, some lost mining time. Worker count ends up being pretty even between the two of them. Which has been pretty standard in this whole series. There hasn't been a time yet where I feel like Dark is just 40 workers ahead or something. He's just got this roaring economy. Even in game 2, which is the one Dark won, he was ahead, but he wasn't like that far ahead. Oof. Now in this game, herO's actually the one ahead. 57 to 54 probes there for a second. Dark will be able to catch up, especially since third base is pretty close to being saturated. You're not going to have too many more workers, and Dark's got that 4th on the way, so he should be able to get that saturation going. But still, some very nice damage here for herO, who's killed 8 drones this game and has only lost a stasis trap. That's funny that that shows up. I think stasis traps are the only light building. Memory serves. Oh, well, now you just lost an oracle, so R.I.P. Oh, you know what? Creep tumors are light now, too. Never mind. Although that doesn't show on here because this overlay is terrible. God. Overlay sucks. I miss my game part overlay. It's so much better. So much better information on the screen. Speaking of information on the screen, though, information I'm seeing here is that herO wants to get very aggressive with these Blink Stalkers again. We've seen him do this already once this series. He wants to try to really put that pressure, put the screws to Dark. Dark, though, he's got Roaches, he's got Ravagers. Roach speed is on the way. 20 more Lings coming out right now. So he was desperate to hold on to this base. He really needs to. The gateway is finished. Oracles are here to help out as well. There are some queens, so the oracles can't get too antsy in their pantsy. Some vials going out, testing the waters here. I feel like Dark can hold this now, but herO just trying to find what value he can, and maybe he can whittle this army down low enough to really put the pressure on. We see the Spire again. This was Dark's response. This has so far been Dark's response to this heavy Blink Stalker aggression. I think he did the same thing against Classic in one of those games. Dropping that Spire. We'll see if he wants to commit to the mutas this time. His economy is much better this game than it was in game 1 when he dropped that Spire. It's not great, but it is better. herO has a 4th base nearly finished on the other side of the map, and the worker count's very similar. I don't know, these mutas, they have a lot to do. We'll see if herO is able to catch a glimpse of them at any point. The oracles are kind of sharking around here. They might be the first targets for the mutas, actually. The Spire is done. No mutas on the way just yet. +1 flyer attack starts up, though. Dark means to commit to these mutas. He has a lot of gas in the bank. He's spending all his minerals on Lings right now, though. Just trying to hold on. I think he wants to kind of decisively put this to bed, take down this proxy gate, and then he can get himself into mutas. That's exactly what he's doing here. Catching a few of these stalkers, pulling them back, kills the gateway. Pulls back with the roaches and ravagers. And now 13 mutas start up. Stalkers are still out here. Lings, roaches, and ravagers trying to push them back. Not quite as scary now without their proxy gate friend. Lings getting some good surface area. Oh my god, 17 mutas on the way. That is just insane. There is, of course, the Stargate, but more zealots warping in. herO has no idea how many mutas are on this production tab right now. He's going to try to push up this ramp. Can Dark hold if he brings the mutas over here? I feel like he might have to bring the mutas over here because herO is getting incredibly aggressive. He does have some zealots looking for a counterattack. They're running right by this base and going straight to the natural. The mutas are going to have to deal with them, and that is going to give Dark, or herO rather, some advance notice that this is coming. The Roach Warren gets jumped on. It will go down. herO at the same time trying to push in as he realized how many mutas there are. He's dropping cannons. He's dropping a Templar Archives right now. These mutas might be able to come over here and win this fight, though. Help the roaches win the fight. But I love this from herO. He's just continuing to send these zealots in. He's like, all right, the mutas have to focus on the zealots. I can keep poking with the stalkers. Oracle's diving in on top of this, but the queens are still here transfusing, shoving this back, and the stalker count is kind of low now. Oh no, Lings and mutas from the north. These are +1 mutas. Remember, they can do a lot of damage. The Lings helping out as well. The oracles are no use here. There are 23 mutas in the sky. There's no archons out yet. The bile's going to help out. The mutas need to not run into those biles. herO is able to pull back with a lot of these stalkers. Dark is way up in army supply now, though. He's got this 5th base, but is not really droned at the moment. I'd like to see some drones maneuver over there. Looks like they're heading that direction. herO does have a 5th base up. The muta's going to dive into the natural. The stalkers are here. The muta's trading with the stalkers. Dark happy to take those trades, it seems, as he's continuing to produce mutas behind this. He's got +2 on the way for them as well. Lings running into zealots. The roaches and ravagers will help clean these the zealots up, rather. Stalkers heading that direction. Look at them out in this stringy line. But as I say that, Dark has already moved the other way. He's forced the recall, but he's not even going to that base. And now, guess what's not available anymore? Recall. And what's here? Absolutely nothing. A couple cannons and shield batteries. Lings, oh my god, they hit the cyber core. No more stalkers for you, herO. And this is where the mutas just get so dangerous. This is why we see Protoss die to mutas. And herO, he's like, all right, I can't win that fight. I just need to counterattack. He's killing drones. He's trying to kill that 5th base. Queens going down, mutas dying as they pop. herO doing a great job in this counterattack, trading with a lot of these units very nicely over here, while the mutas try to dive on top of cannons and shield batteries, killing as many probes as they can. herO's economy is in shambles, but so is Dark Space. That +2 is denied for those mutas, meaning the stalkers will be way ahead on upgrades with +3 attack and +1 armor. Oh, the split from herO is so good, but it is very dangerous if the mutas come back. But right now, the mutas are still hardcore counterattacking. Oh my god, a big cancel as that pylon dies. Everything going down here. herO's base in big shambles, but he is getting some of it together. 73 probes have gone down. That is so many probes. But Dark's main base is under assault. He's trying to retake some hatches. This hatchery is misaligned, which is very unfortunate because canceling it and replanting it costs him so much money. But Okay, Dark's coming back. He's trying to catch some of these units. He's catching the Zealots. Oh, that is massive. herO is way up on army supply. He's going to blink forward on top of these Mutas. The Mutas take the fight. The Mutas can't win this fight. Dark making a big mistake here. More Mutas coming over. Does he have enough? Can he do it? He decides no, but he decides no so late. I think Dark just made a big mistake there, and he taps out. herO wins the game, and with that, he wins the series. Oh my God, what a series, what a final game.